What's good, sports gamers, and welcome to part 4 of our sleeper series, where we now go over the quarterback's best friend, the tight ends. Alright, let's get it.
Sports Gamers Online is the #1 source for the sports gamer.
Coming in at number 10 is Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith, to start Madden 18, isn't really developed as a receiver, as his catching traffic, all that stuff sits around average for a tight end. But he has the tools with his 85 speed, 70 run block, 78 stiff arm, and 80 juke that once you develop him and he starts to catch the ball consistently, he could develop into a starter for you for years. And at number 9 is Michael Pruitt. Pruitt is a pure receiver as he's terrible at blocking, and he's a pretty decent receiver at that with 81 catching, 82 spec, and 78 catching traffic. You can plug him in as a number 2 opposite a more beastly tight end, and with his speed and decent catching numbers, he'll fill his role perfectly. And at number 8 is Thomas Duarte. If you pass a lot and want another target that will probably be in free agency, Duarte is your guy. He has decent speed at 83, 83 spec catch, and 70 route running. He's a good number 2 tight end right off the package, and with him only being 22, you can build him up even further. Just make sure you don't run to his side when he's in, because he can't block. At number 7 on the list is Demetrius Harris. You know, in college recruiting, certain plays will just be labeled an athlete. Well, that's what Harris would be. He has 87 speed, 88 agility, and 89 acceleration, which is crazy. You keep going, you see 88 jump, and now you think you have a future beast on your hands. He even has 79 juke and 75 spin. So he has speed and moves after the catch, but then you see his receiving numbers and things get ugly. He does have 82 spec catch, which will let him put his crazy athletic numbers to use. But that 72 catching traffic and 60 route running, man. He's old enough where his potential is at best a good number 2 tight end who will average 15 to 20 yards a catch because of his speed and yards after the catch ability. And depending on your Chiefs owner, you might find him in free agency. At number 6 on the list is Jeremy Sprinkle. Really, Sprinkle? Sprinkle is a weird one. He's 6'5" with 80 spec catch, which is cool, but 75 jump. He's a decent run blocker with good speed. It's just his route running ability and catching traffic aren't anything special yet. So you should target those 2 categories if you get him. He could be a nice number 2 tight end for you with his speed. And number 5 is Erik Sabri. The 6'5" Sabri has 85 jump and 83 spec catch, giving you a nice cheap vertical threat while also being one of the better tight ends after the catch, so he can work the short game as well. So you want to make your living with him building up his catching traffic and dominating the middle of the field. And number 4 is Max Williams. Despite only being 80 speed, Williams makes do being an above average receiver right off the bat. Is good at a few special moves to create separation once he does catch it, and is a monster blocker with 77 run block. Williams is basically your starter kit tight end. Nothing special, but won't hurt you either. At number 3 is Bucky Hodges. I hyped this man up in a previous video, and whoever did the ratings didn't do my boy dirty. Hodges is 6'6" and will have 87 speed, 84 spec catch, and 92 jump. I mean, you can line him up at receiver and he will hold his own with them numbers. Now, the baby goat's catch rating is really low, so he's going to drop some gimmies early on. But it's worth it considering the plays he has the potential to make right off the bat, and will in the future with further development. At number 2 is Darren Wallace. As a receiver, he was super tall with decent speed. But since he moved to tight end, he's still super tall, but now is one of the fastest at his position. So you see why he made the list. He's as pure of a jump ball tight end as they come, being 6'6" with 87 jump and 83 spec catch. So you don't want to see him coming down the seams. His route running and run blocking are gonna need some serious work though to not make him one-dimensional. But I mean, when that one dimension is jumping over and outrunning linebackers regularly, being thrown to by Joe Flacco, he should be alright. Getting him in a regular team league will be tricky, but thankfully the number 4 sleeper tight end Max Williams is on his team also, so you're bound to get one. If Darren Waller is in the hands of a guy who passes a lot, check back and see what he looks like in a year or 2. It will be a scary sight. At Sports Gamers Online, number 1 sleeper tight end in Madden 18 is Gerald Everett. Now, Everett didn't come on my radar until I did that top 10 rookies to look out for video, and his rating seemed to back up what I thought he would be. He combines great speed with 88 acceleration and good starting receiving numbers of 79 catching traffic, 81 spec catch, and 66 route running to give him crazy potential as a receiver. But then when you realize he's a good blocker as well and a beast with the yards after the catch, I mean, the dude has 77 trucking and 81 juke. He can really do it all. Rams owners will probably be so happy that they got Sammy Watkins that they will give him to you for like a fifth or something. His only knock is he isn't the tallest of tight ends, but so what? Get him ASAP. He has no other weaknesses. So it makes sense why Gerald Everett sits atop Sports Gamers Online, top 10 sleeper tight ends in Madden 18. Sorry, Sports Gamers, do you agree with the list? And if not, who is the tight end that you've been getting busy with that you think deserves a spot? Leave it in the comments down below. And stay tuned for more Madden 18 content here at Sports Gamers Online and the next part in our sleeper series, the offensive lineman. So make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't so you don't miss anything we put out. I'm Chris. Thank y'all for watching and be good, y'all.